What's up, my beloved? Y'all, this is Tracy Philippa, and welcome to Purpose Sisters Joyrides. Y'all, I'm interviewing one of my sisters in Christ today. And when I mean sister, I have gotten the pleasure of being introduced to this beautiful young lady. We were at like a singles function at my church. And she got up, and the first thing she said was like, "My name is, and I love feet." And we were like, what in the fetish is happening here? Until she kind of told us what she does for a living, and so it made sense. But y'all, she is such a beautiful soul, and I can't wait for you guys to meet her. So y'all, this is going to be episode number 5 of Purpose Sisters Joyrides season 2, y'all. We are season 2, and we're doing pretty good. There's been a crazy few weeks with the launching of the book and all that stuff. But y'all, God has just been so faithful with everything. And y'all, don't forget, Purpose Sisters is sponsored by Danny-licious Cakes. They are located in Nassau, Bahamas. Their number is 431-7216. And they make the best cakes, if I should say so myself. Y'all, let's go. And we are here, guys. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you, honey?
I am awesome. How are you?
My ceiling too low for you. Let me see. No, we could see you.
We good?
Push it up a little bit, because our topics for the day, the one that belongs to me, thinks he's a man. How are you, girl?
I'm good, man.
Okay, so y'all, let me tell y'all, this month's been so busy that I wasn't able to get our snacks. So are we going to Starbucks? Where do Starbucks? Good. So y'all, this is my beautiful guest, Miss
Christal Woodside. Hi!
So I was telling them, when I first met you, we were at the singles event at church. And you got up and politely said, because we were giving, something about ourselves, and you were like, "I love feet." Yes. And I'm like, so I was like, we were like, what in the fetish is happening right now?
And someone just asked me about that. I'm like, do you still love feet?
And I was like, when you said your profession, I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. So, my love, what do you do?
So I am a certified trained doctor of nail technology, and my specialty is foot care. So I love to do anything related to feet. And I work along with medical professionals because, within our society now, you have individuals who are hypertensive, they're diabetic, and there are so many persons that are going on the day-to-day and having so many complications with their feet, because a lot of people don't realize, but it's those that keep you up and keep you going in any industry or profession that you do, but they are the ones that are neglected the most. All the time, majority of the times, we neglect our feet, and that is what I love. That's what I'm passionate about, and that's what I care about.
Awesome. When you were saying that, it reminded me, my dad was diabetic.
Yeah.
And we had so many issues with him either getting nails in his feet and don't know because they don't have feelings in their feet.
Yep.
For the last maybe 3 years of his life. His legs were like completely black.
Yeah, circulation.
Completely black.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, one of my prayers, I was like, God, please, like, do not allow him to lose his feet, because I just knew once he lost his mobility, and he eventually passed on.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that the second they amputated, that would have been it.
Yeah, the majority of times when you find individuals, they would have to have an amputation. They would either have to have the next leg or the next foot taken off, the next limb taken off, the next toe taken off, and the self-esteem and the self-worth, it drops. It decreases so low, and that's why we say prevention is better than cure. There are so many individuals here within our society who are going the day to day and they don't even know that they're diabetic. They don't even know that they're on borderline of becoming a diabetic. That is why it's so important. Year to year, you have your annuals done. It is very important you get your foot care done. You may not feel comfortable with having someone like myself because you do have persons who know that they're diabetic and they're very cautious because their doctors tell them to be very cautious about what you do with your feet and who touch your feet. But definitely go and see your podiatrist. There are a few that we have here in the country. I know one in particular that I work along with who is doing dynamic work for our society. And definitely go and, if you know someone, tell them, go and get their feet checked out.
I love that. That has absolutely nothing to do with today's show, but I appreciate that conversation because that is something that, like I said, my father dealt with for years. Like my dad developed diabetes in his 20s, like in his mid-20s, and his diabetes was like aggressive. Whoa. So within like the first maybe 5 years of him being diagnosed, his health just declined. Declined. And so he literally battled for almost 30 years.
And with diabetes, it's all about our lifestyle, you know. It's really all about our lifestyle because it could be reversed. Just like how individuals are hypertensive, they experience shortness of breath, and all the time you walk from here to two steps away and you feel like you just cannot take it. But majority of sicknesses, illness, and diseases, they can be reversed. We just have to learn how to secure and cherish this temple and what we put into this temple. And definitely, if you know that you have that history, that family history of diabetes, that's one thing you always need to always check for, just to make sure.
So as moms, because I named this episode She's with Hees. What it's like to be a boy mom. And I'm glad we started the conversation off like that because ultimately all of these behaviors, they start from in the home.
Yes.
You know, we blame a lot of it like, oh, it's hereditary, this and that, and that is absolutely true. You do have a heightened expectation to develop certain things depending on your family history, but that still does not mean that you have to follow the same path that everybody else has followed.
Yes.
And so as being a mom of a very rambunctious 5-year-old son, I try my best to, instill principles and values in him that I know that are going to be beneficial for him as he grows. One of the things that it's very, very difficult, I don't know if you go through this, you can let me know, but his diet.
I think with every mom or every parent, it is always managing and balancing with diet. Especially now in the time that we're living in, we have so many fast foods. Sweets are on the shelf. When you check out at the grocery stores, the sweets are right there. They feel like if I have to have a pie now, I have to have another pie in the next 5 minutes. So with everyone, it's always diet. Yesterday, my son would have had dinner and I would have wanted to give him a slice of one of the cakes that we purchased from the store. But I can tell you, when I went back in the cake, can I say that a portion of it was missing? So I said to him, did you go back in the cake? He's like, yeah, but I only took one little slice. I said, no, you already had a slice day before. You did not have to come back when I went to sleep. That means you went in the fridge.
Oh, Jesus.
You did not have to come back and get another slice of cake. So how are we balancing? And I said, don't do that again. You already had a slice. There was no reason for you to have to go back and get another slice. So balancing the diet. My son, he loves meat. He loves meat. If he doesn't eat anything else off the plate, the meat will be gone.
Mine's just the opposite.
Really? No, he loves meat. So I have to ensure that when I'm even packing his lunch, because he takes lunch to school, not all the time he is able, or I'm able to give him funds to go and buy lunch. Because I'm like, why am I buying you lunch each and every day? You could have lunch from home. And that is my way in making sure he tried to have a balanced diet with me. Because who is to say he could probably have his lunch and still probably asking another kid, or another kid giving him and say, would you like a piece of this?
Yes.
So with managing the diet, it's challenging at times, but there are ways that we can do the best that we can as moms when they're in the presence of us.
So with my baby, he doesn't too much like the meat, right? He would basically, if you give him a chicken nugget, he's fine. Anything other than maybe a sandwich meat that's on a sandwich, that's it. He's not going to touch anything else. Like, so I can't get him to eat things like steamed chicken or anything like. My son has never tasted souse. And for our international viewers, souse is a Bahamian delicacy. It's normally something that we eat for breakfast. It's made with, you could have it with chicken or turkey. You could have it with sheep tongue, ribs. You could have it with pig's feet. You could, we do it all.
Yes, sauce is just you boiling that meat, season that up with some lime and a little bit of salt. You throw your little allspice inside there. You let that boil up. Oof.
It's
nice lemon hot meal.
We love it, and it's either, you know, we normally eat it with either grits or Johnny cake.
Johnny cake, yeah.
So, but he's never had that because he's not gonna eat it.
Wow.
And his thing is he wants pizza every day.
I'm
like,
you can't have pizza every day.
And so I've even had to improvise and make like homemade pizzas, like with pita bread, you know, and do little things to make it healthier for him. But you're sorry, my throat is killing me. But I still can't get him to eat like regular food. And I'm like, I feel so bad sometimes because I struggle with my weight. And I don't want the same thing for him.
Yeah.
And so when I see him, you know, kind of repeating the same type of cycle, it makes me go into like defense mode almost with him. But I have to also remember that he's a child.
Yes.
And
that's just a phase that he's going to have to get through. Yeah. And a lot of times we as parents, when our children go through phases, you know, we take a step back to question our parenting. We really take a step back to question our parenting, but having to understand that that is just a phase that they're going through at that moment, and you try your best as a parent to put things in perspective. You know, because it's challenging and it's difficult. There's no manual everyone would tell you on how to be the perfect parent, because there's no such thing as a perfect parent.
I love that. So y'all, we are about to go into Starbucks and get our drinks and snacks, and we will be right back. I'll be back, y'all.
Hi.
Listen, I can't even get my what you call it, like my latte today, because y'all, somebody a frog is in my throat. But yeah, so we're talking about being moms of sons, and I didn't think that I would be a single mom, and but shout out to my baby daddy, you know, because he is definitely in our son's life 100%. So he has that support from both of us. But now it's like I feel like sometimes I need to be mom and dad.
Yeah.
And it's hard because like I just want to love on you, and you know,
you just want to take that nature of the mom role,
then,
yeah.
You know, but then there are some times when I really have to like lay down the law and be a disciplinarian, and that's something I'm trying to navigate. You know, I'm trying to work my way through that. But like in this society, trying to raise a young man, especially from like a woman's perspective, when we've been hurt and we have felt like the men in our life have not stepped up to the plate, whether it's father, whether it's husband. It's like you're trying to groom him to not be that. But one thing that I've learned is that the thing that we focus on is actually what manifests. And so I'm trying to navigate this area where I'm trying to raise a gentleman, but not with the focus of not being like your dad, if that makes sense.
Okay.
How is it for you?
Having a son, it's indeed been a blessing. I realized my son at a very early age, he had his own identity. He really had his own identity. And sometimes we look at our kids and try to pinpoint, oh no, you must get that from your mommy. Oh no, you must get that from your daddy. But they are a combination of both parents. And with being in that combination of both parents, they still have their own personal identity. And with raising my son, he's now 10. He'll be 11 this year. It has been challenging. It has really been challenging. I am not a dad, nor do I see myself of ever being a dad. However, yes, the role of a male figure in his life needed to be there, and he has that, which I'm very much grateful for, but he does not have that 24/7. So you still have to step in as the mom with the discipline that he needs, because you want to make sure that he doesn't stray away.
Yeah.
And within the society that we are in now, you have so many distractions, so many influences on your children's life. As a mother, the only thing you want to do is shelter and protect, but you can't. They're not going to always be there with you. So that is where I leaned most of all, was in prayer. And I said to the Lord, I said, Father, I need for you to teach me how to raise this boy, because I did not have a father in my life. So with understanding what are the roles then of a father, I'm personally myself, I didn't know.
Okay.
And there were 2 episodes I can recall, and the last one it's ever so clear to me, when my son was going through his personal struggles. And it was so strong till I saw it becoming dangerous. Dangerous to the fact that if I did not take control of this now, this could escalate into something bigger in the future. And I am so grateful to have that support system, because you need it as a single parent. That support system, till I was able to call, I spoke to his dad. I said, listen, this is what's going on now, and I need for you to come and talk to the child. He wasn't able to come right then and there, and I know if I didn't have somebody to come now, it would have been a problem. So I called his godfather. One of his godfathers said that he was off the island. Called the other one. Let me speak to him now. And he sat down, he talked with them, and I was like, this is what he needs. Because you are that mom who's always there, whether the good and the bad. They will always look at you as mom always there no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
However, when they see that male figure,
Yep.
it's a whole horse of a different color. Because with a male, they respect you
Mm-hmm.
as the mother. But this is my personal belief. I don't throw this on anyone. They are of a dominant spirit
Mm-hmm.
till they respect authority.
Yeah.
They see you as the mother, they see you as the nurturer, they see you as the caregiver, they see you as all these things. You could be the big bad wolf in your household,
Mm-hmm.
and still yet, if they don't see that authority there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it ain't nothing.
Yeah. I definitely see a difference between how my son would
Interact.
even handles me and handles his uncle.
Yeah.
You know? And but that's just something that's natural.
It's natural to them.
I think
and
it's
that is
natural.
what we as mothers have to understand as well. Because my son, I remember this very clear. My son, he had to have been probably no more than 8, maybe 9 months. His dad picked him up, and his dad was about to embrace me. He did this, pushed his dad off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, like, why would you, like, where did you get that from to even do that?
Yeah.
Because at a very young age, I don't know, he formulated in his mind, this is mommy, I gotta protect mommy. No matter, don't touch. No matter what, I gotta protect mommy. And being a male, that is what a male naturally does. They are that protector. So when there is another male that is more dominant than them in a household or more dominant than them in their environment, they now can realize that I could sit and be that child.
Most definitely. My son is getting to the point, I'm not sure who's teaching it. I don't know whether it's school or whether it's his dad or even, I guess, watching other people deal with me. He's become extremely gentle. So he doesn't want me to open doors. And he's 5, y'all. So, like, he doesn't want me to open doors. Like, if he sees a flower anywhere, like, he's going to pick that, come, bring it to me. And one word of advice I would give to mothers at large, that if you have a son and they are embracing that masculine energy and they are becoming little gentlemen, please affirm them when they do that. Let them know how proud you are. Let them know how sweet they are. Kiss them on their cheek. Love on them. Hug them. Because I think a lot of times we are so wrapped up in our own trauma that we don't understand that we're grooming men who are now going to put their same women in the same trauma that we just went through.
And very true.
I have, I've become extremely sensitive to that. And I always say to myself that I'm going to groom my son to be the best father and husband that he can possibly be. There's never going to be a competition between me and my daughter-in-law. She is my daughter-in-law. So we're not competing for the same guy. He will always be my guy because he is my baby, but he is your husband and he is going to love you the way that I teach him how to love you. And I think, like, a lot of times, like, I've noticed, and especially in Bahamian culture, we coddle our sons. And then
especially the mothers,
the mothers coddle the sons, and then they are extremely mean to the daughters, right? And so they would embrace the sons not helping out with chores, with doing this or with doing that, you know, the sons can stay
I
home
know that all
until,
too well.
you know, the sons can stay home until they're 40 and they don't care. But then they will try to push the daughter to get married, push the daughter to do this, push the daughter to do XYZ. You need to learn how to be a good wife. You need to learn how to cook and clean and this. But then you'll let your son just stay there and do nothing. And then when he has now become this person and now is expecting a wife
To take on that
to
role.
coddle him the way his mother coddled him. And now we have this
Friction.
dysfunction.
Have friction in the household. And I realized that because I said, how would I want to be loved? How would I want to be treated? And I allow the Holy Spirit to lead me into, okay, these are some of the things that you now need to do. This is what you now need to put him in a type of environment so he could see certain things are happening. And I'm grateful for one individual that came into my life that was able to pinpoint and show him these are some of the things that you need to start doing. And still up to this day, these are the things he does. He opens the door for me. I saw him, and being a mother, we went into a store the other day and he walked ahead of me to open the door. And I'm saying to him, okay, go inside. He stand up to the, I was like, go inside. And I totally forgot. It clicked. Thank you very much, baby, for opening the door for me.
Yes.
You know? And I am, this little boy, he's so loving. He's so caring. Like you said, he would go out, he would pick the flower, he would do certain things for me because he wants to see me happy.
Yes.
And that's why I just want to see you happy, Mommy. I just want to see you smiling. And he'd be like, can we have a family day? You've been working so much. Can I have some me time? I'm like, oh my gosh. And for my career, I'm like, I need to invest more time with him. I need to spend more time with him. But having that and doing that and having a son, oh, you're going to get so much love.
They are extremely, extremely, extremely loving.
You're going to get so much love.
Wow. I love, one thing that I do with him quite often is, because, you know, I focus on carrying myself out on dates because I'm single, you know, and I'm going through that particular journey on my own. But I also make sure that I do the same amount of mommy and me dates
time,
with him. And so I expose him to, you know, the same nice restaurants that I would carry myself to, I carry him, you know, and he's like, every time he passes Bahama, he's like, we going to, I'm like, no, we ain't going there today. We're not, but I get him used to that.
Yes.
And because I want him to know what it is to have, you know, live that kind of life and have those experiences so that he knows when it's time.
When it's his time.
Carry that lady someplace nice, you know. When.
Where were we? I can't remember where we were. Oh, we would have gone out to have something to eat, and this boy, he blows my mind at times because he pulled out the seat for me. He pulled, and I said to myself, I was like, I really don't need no man in my life now.
Right.
I'm like, I have this young man treating me just so lovingly. Like, do I really need to be dating? Do I really need to be dating? And it touched me. It really did touch me. And just like you said, going out on dates. And that is why he's saying now, Mommy, can we have some me time? Because these are all the things that I do with him.
Yeah.
I find the time to go out. We go to movies together. We would have gone out to the carnival recently together. And we haven't had dinner as often as we used to now. And I know when he's asking for some me time, I need to step back and I need to focus a little bit more in our relationship.
One of the things that I have started, because I started it with myself, and I realized that I needed to do this with him, because we are raising young men in a society where at any given moment somebody is bashing a man. At any given moment somebody is taking their integrity away from them,
Belittling them. Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't have this happen with my baby, and I can't control everything that happens with him because I'm not with him 24/7. But what I try to do is remind him of who he is.
Yes.
So every morning, when we're driving to school, besides saying our prayer and anointing him, I am that mother.
Yes.
But I say this with him. I say, I am strong. And he repeats after me, and I said, I am strong. I am mighty. I am brilliant. I am unique. I am loving. I am kind. I am gentle. I am a good student. I am a good friend. I will achieve. I will succeed. Jesus loves me, and I love you too. And that is every single morning on our way to school. I let him say that, because before the world gets a chance to define who you are,
you would know.
I am going to tell you. It's going to come from the mouth of your mother, come from the person that birthed you, come from the person that carried you. I am going to remind you every single day of who you are, so that if anyone calls you anything other than what your mother calls you, you could say that devil is a liar.
Yes.
And I think that is something that is missing with a lot of our young men today. They don't get that affirmation that they need when they go out in society, and then they let society tell them who they are.
To them. Yes. Very early on, mainly because of myself and my upbringing, I realized that I needed to be that person that stood in the mirror to say, I am what God has created me to be. So when I had my son, I affirmed that to him, like you said. Every single morning, rain or shine. There would be mornings that when we're rushing, trying to get out the house. But every single morning I speak to him, did you say your affirmations for today? Did you add another one this week? What are your new 4-1s for this month? Let's get on them. Let's get it cracking. I said, because you have to always remember that you're in school now. Children are not going to be nice.
No.
Children are not going to be nice. So I said, you have to say your affirmations every single morning, because you need to make sure that you know who you are.
Yeah.
That when you are hit by the world, you wouldn't fall on your back.
Yeah.
You wouldn't fall to your knees to break down and cry.
Yeah.
He's a very emotional creature. Gets that from me. I'm sorry. We cry. We cry. But I said, even when you're crying and you're standing up to that person you're crying, don't let that affect your heart.
Yeah.
You brush that off your shoulder, you recollect yourself, and you stand up and said, that's what you say, but I know who I am. I am strong. I am fearfully and wonderfully made by God. I am brilliant. I am unique. I am smart. I am intelligent. And he could give you a whole list.
Yeah.
So when his dad called me one day, he would have had to spend some time with his dad for a long period of time because I was not feeling well. He would have needed to be taken to and from school and everything. His dad called me, why is this child breaking down in front of me? Like, what's going on? Like, okay. He doesn't want to do this and doesn't want to do it and he's crying. I said, okay, no problem. Tell him recollect himself, say his affirmations. He needs that affirmity. He needs to ensure himself that he can do it. And that's what we need to push and instill into our children each and every day. Because like you said, the world will bring you down. And we need to see more of our men out here doing the things that need to be done.
Yeah.
So that when these young men are grown,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to have a fight with them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to be going up to the courthouse with them. You wouldn't have to see them behind the prison bars.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not all the time. Yes, I know many things happen. And not all the time. You could have gone through a divorce. You could have been a single parent because you would have had that child out of wedlock. You could have adopted a child. But still yet, they are not seeing the reflection of what a man needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we also, it reminds me like how we are affirming our sons, right? There are fathers out here who are doing their best and who they are in their children's life. They are present
completely,
and
no matter what.
I think that society does not we don't reward that enough.
Let me reward all our dads right now. Like, keep at it, keep doing it, keep pushing, keep striving, keep being there, showing up is most important.
You know, and that is something like I said at the beginning of the episode. You know, my ex-husband, we do a phenomenal job at co-parenting. And you know, one of my friends said to me the other day, she said, "You are such a good mom." And I said, I told her thank you, and I said it's because he allows me to be. Because that stress that so many single women have when it comes to, you know, being the only financial breadwinner for their kids and all these different things. I don't have that. I don't have that pressure, so I could be mommy.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about where his next meal is going to come from. I can be mommy. And even though we don't live in the same place, he allows me that opportunity to be the soft and kind and sweet and nurturing mother that I need to be without having to worry about everything else. And so y'all, like, kudos to the daddies that are doing their thing. And honestly, for the fathers that are not, your sons need you. Like, you may not think so, but they need you. There is only so much that a mom can do. We do not raise men. Like, and you know, and I'm not saying that the women who have done it before, like, you have done a phenomenal job. You were given a job that you did not sign up for, and so because it takes two people to have a baby.
Yes.
And so we applaud you in that, but understand that these men, these young boys, they need that male figure in their life. They need that authoritative figure in their life. They need a man to show them how to be a man. And I will end on that. It was so good.
Thank you.
It was so good to have you.
Thank you very much for having me.
You have any last words?
But even though we were speaking about, you know, men, with the men as well, the girls need them as well. The girls need them as well.
Girl, we have a whole separate episode about girls with daddy issues.
The girls need them as well. Trust me. But to all of the men, to all of the moms, to all of the single moms, keep pushing. Keep pushing, keep at it. Keep your children always in the presence of the Lord, because that is indeed going to be your source. That's going to be your helper. That's going to be when you're climbing these mountains and you feel like you're just about to fall. That will be your strength. That will be your angel bearing you up. Just keep him as your source. Keep your children covered, because these are some really perilous times. Keep your children covered underneath the blood, because going out there in this world, don't allow the world to teach them, but they ain't being learned from home.
Oh gosh. Amen. So y'all, that was episode number 5. Like, subscribe and share the channel. Y'all don't shack up with me. Subscribe to the channel. Don't just come in here, looking at our pretty face and then don't click the bell.
Yes.
Be a part of the Purpose Sisters family. Y'all.
Be a part of the discussion.
Of course.
Yes.
While we drop these gems.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for dropping these gems.
Thank you
Christal.
very much. Thank you for having me.
I love you.
See you guys.
God bless you.